It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder.
What's going on, everyone? Thanks for checking out my YouTube channel. Today I will be reviewing 2013's Shiver. Now, I've never heard of this movie, and I doubt a lot of people have. I mean, I just saw this at a DVD video game resale store, and it looked interesting, and it had Danielle Harris in it. Maybe if you're a Danielle Harris fan, you know, and I know there's some out there that are just super into Danielle Harris, that they would know about this movie. But, you know, I just thought the fact that she was in it, because I know her from, obviously, the Hatchet movies, and she was, you know, in Halloween 4 and 5, you know, she's a scream queen, so you know about her, and she's been at many conventions that I've been to, so, you know, why not? And it's got a cool, you know, you got severed heads in a jar on the back of the, you know, the cover and on the front, and I'm like, this looks good. But one thing I found interesting is the quote right here on the back by a Jean Lynch of Close Up Film. Never heard of her or Close Up Film. But the quote on here says, "A killer as clever and complex as Hannibal Lecter and unstoppable as Michael Myers." That's a bold statement there for, you know, a comparison. So, you know, there's that. But I gotta say, this movie is not very good. It's just, you just didn't get much out of it. I didn't, at least. The first part of the film opens up pretty interesting. You know, the first scene, they're in this old school looking diner with neon lights. Probably looks like it's on the Hollywood Strip or something. You know, and this guy, he walks into the diner, and you know, he's very odd and peculiar looking. He's an older guy in his 50s, you know, very attractive server at the it's, you know, like at the diner, at the whatever, where you order food. And he's talking to her, and she says her name, and he likes her name, and it's kind of weird. Then he starts having visions of him, like, you know, getting sexual with her. And then he asks her out on a date, I think, on, you know, that Saturday night. And obviously she's creeped out and says no, and he kind of reacts badly. He kind of storms out of the place, and she's like, okay. But then as her shift's over and she's going to leave, you know, he strangles her to death with a wire that has these two handles that tightens and loosens it. They say it in the movie what it is, but that's what it is. And, you know, so there, from that point on, you know, it's one of those, and then you know, they start showing all these different things where, you know, there's a killer on the loose. He's obvious. He's communicating to the police, much like the Zodiac killer or something like that, where he's this huge narcissist kind of, you know, killer or whatever. And you know, then it's about Danielle Harris and how she's not really content with her life, and you know, it seems that she's not happy with her job. She's not happy with, you know, her current situation, her lover or whatever, her mom and her past. She's just blah about everything. She doesn't seem to have a lot of motivation. She doesn't seem to be very assertive. That whole thing, you know. And Danielle Harris does a pretty good job in this, you know. She's probably the best part of the whole thing, in my opinion. She really steals the show. The killer, who I forget his name, but he's in he's in Wolf Creek, John Jarratt. He does a pretty good job too, but I would still say Danielle Harris actually, you know, outshines him. Usually it don't go that way with, you know, villains and heroes, but I still think you like her more than you give a shit about him in this. Because he just acts so basic, like exactly what you'd expect of every kind of killer like this, you know. He's definitely no Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter, I'll say that. And the kills definitely aren't as intense as Michael Myers, and I'll say that. But it's, you know, it has its moments, I guess. You know, like I said, the beginning is really interesting. So, you know, the whole thing to me just feels like it was a cheap version of like a CSI episode, or maybe something like Dexter. It didn't have anything redeeming really about it. You know, it was just really flat. And honestly, it was sort of like, it's weird for me to say this because usually I'm all about low budget stuff here. You know, and even the cheesy kind of goofball stuff, like stuff I've reviewed in the past, like Invaders from Mars or Terror Vision or The Video Dead or Critters even, like this just isn't like that. This is a lot more contemporary. I usually don't do stuff from basically the 90s and up to now, you know, but I just thought I'd do this because it was kind of like, who's heard of this? This isn't very talked about, so maybe it's a, you know, a gem that we don't know about. That stuff happens, believe it or not. But it's not very good. It's not very, it doesn't grab you in any way. I mean, and it's not so bad that you're laughing and having a good time with it either. It's just blah. Danielle Harris is all right in it. Other than that, there's not a whole lot that, you know, it becomes this cat and mouse game with him and the police and her being this sort of traumatized victim that then goes through an arc and she ends up, you know, taking control of herself and going against him. And, you know, the movie's very much kind of about that, as you'd imagine it would be. Anything like that, I don't know. I don't really have that much to say about it. It's not really worth your time. You know, it's just something that will fly right past you and you won't think twice about it. It does not stick with you. The visual effects are fucking terrible. It's a lot of bad CGI blood. And that really, because that is something that does not need to be done. I mean, there's sometimes when stuff, I won't even, like, for instance, in The Devil's Rejects, the knife throwing scene in the motel, that's great. And Rob Zombie hardly uses CGI. You know, you can't tell that that's CGI. Or even in the new Halloween movie when Michael stabs one of his victims through the throat, through the back. That's, you know, that works. That looks all right. Hey guys, I just wanted to quickly let you guys know that I checked out a short film on another YouTube channel that also subscribed to me, and their short film Serial Killer Alien Werewolves is worth checking out. You know, in particular, there's a really cool scene with a headless torso that's squirting blood all over the place. Really good job on that, guys. You know, it's a funny movie, about as low budget as you can get, but that's the kind of stuff I like. And you know, I just highly recommend anyone check out their channel. Slash&chill Production is the name of the channel. So blow them motherfuckers up. Anyway, guys, check them out. Don't get me started on that. But yeah, this film, I'm not gonna say, you know, don't see it, but it doesn't matter. It didn't do it for me, folks. Shiver just wasn't it. With that being said, I would like you guys to hit a subscribe, a like. Check out CucamongaPeakProductions.com for the latest news on short films I might be directing or anything film related I might be doing. And, you know, just whoever else is going to be part of Cucamonga Peaks in the future and what projects they be up to. Check it out, CucamongaPeakProductions.com. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace out.